Introduction: The Power of Small Daily Steps. Hey there, my friend. Let me ask you something simple. Have you ever dreamed of speaking English naturally without fear, without thinking too hard about grammar, just speaking freely and confidently? You see, many people believe that learning English is difficult or takes many years, but the truth is, it doesn't have to be. You don't need to study for hours every day. You don't need to memorize long lists of words. You only need one thing: daily progress. Yes, small steps every single day can change your English completely. Imagine this. If you spend just 15 to 20 minutes daily learning English, listening, speaking, thinking, you can transform your fluency faster than you ever thought possible. Learning English is like growing a beautiful plant. If you water it every day, it grows strong. But if you forget it for weeks, it starts to fade. The same thing happens with your English. So today I want to share with you 5 powerful daily English habits that will help you speak naturally, understand easily, and feel confident in every conversation. These habits are simple. You don't need expensive courses or complex grammar books. You just need consistency, curiosity, and a little bit of daily effort. Are you ready? Let's begin with the first and most important one: listen daily. Tip 1: listen daily. The secret to natural English. If you want to speak English well, you must first listen a lot. Listening is like the foundation of a strong building. Without it, your speaking will always feel weak or uncertain. Think about how children learn to speak their first language. Do they study grammar first? Do they read books first? Number, they listen to their parents every single day. They hear sounds, rhythm, tone, and slowly their brain starts to copy and understand. That's exactly how you can learn English too. The magic of listening. When you listen daily, your brain starts to catch patterns naturally. You begin to hear how real English sounds, not textbook English, but living English. You'll hear how people connect words, how they use stress, and how they express emotions. For example, when someone says, "Oh, hey, what's up?" They don't mean what is up in the sky, or they mean how are you? You can't learn that only from grammar rules. You learn it from listening, from real voices, real emotions, and real conversations. What should you listen to? Now, you might be thinking, okay, but what should I listen to? Here's the secret: listen to what you enjoy, because when you enjoy it, your brain stays active and happy. Start simple. Short English podcasts for beginners. YouTube videos about topics you like: cooking, travel, motivation, or daily life. English songs and read the lyrics. Short clips from movies or TV shows. If you listen to things that you love, English will never feel boring again. You can even listen while doing other things, cooking, walking, cleaning, driving. Turn your everyday life into an English environment. Make listening a daily habit. Consistency is everything. You don't need hours, just 15 to 20 minutes every day is enough to start changing your English level. You can make a simple routine like this. Morning, listen to one short English video while you eat breakfast. Afternoon, repeat the same video while walking or commuting. Evening, listen again before you sleep. Close your eyes and imagine the words. When you listen again and again, the words become part of your memory, like music stuck in your head. Soon you'll notice that you understand phrases automatically without translation. Real life example. Let me share a quick story. There was a student named Anna. She used to say, I can't understand native speakers. They talk too fast. So I told her, don't worry. Just start with short daily listening. 10 minutes every morning. She started listening to simple English stories on her way to work. At first, she understood only a few words, but after 1 week, she started catching phrases. After 1 month, she began to repeat what she heard. And after 3 months, she could follow full conversations. She didn't study hundreds of grammar pages. She just listened every single day, and that changed everything. Why listening builds confidence. Here's something powerful. When you listen daily, your brain learns how English feels. You start to hear the rhythm of the language, when to pause, how to stress, when to smile, when to sound surprised. That rhythm becomes your secret confidence, because when you know how English sounds, your mouth starts to copy it naturally. You stop worrying about perfect grammar. You focus on connection. And that's when real fluency begins. Star summary of tip 1. Let's summarize this first tip. Listen every day, even if it's just 10 to 20 minutes. Choose what you enjoy: music, podcasts, movies, or YouTube videos. Repeat often. Your brain loves repetition. Don't translate. Just listen and let your brain connect naturally. Stay consistent and make it part of your daily routine. And if you do this, you'll be amazed how your understanding and speaking start improving without stress, without long study hours, and without boring grammar books. Listening is the heart of fluency. Are you ready for the next level? Because once you start listening every day, the next step will help you speak naturally and confidently, just like a native speaker. Coming up next in part 2, tip 2, shadowing practice. The secret to speaking like a native. Part 2, shadowing practice. The secret to speaking naturally. Now that you're listening every day, it's time to take a big step forward to start speaking English with more confidence, rhythm, and natural sound. And for that, we'll use one of the most powerful methods ever created for language learners: shadowing practice. What is shadowing? Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and speaking at the same time, like a shadow that follows a person wherever they go. Imagine you're listening to an English video. As the speaker talks, you repeat every word right after them, copying their pronunciation, their speed, and even their emotion. It's not just repeating like a robot, it's about feeling the rhythm and moving your mouth the same way they do. It may sound difficult at first, but trust me, it's one of the fastest ways to sound natural in English. Why shadowing works so well. Here's the magic. When you shadow, your brain and mouth start working together. Listening alone helps your ears, but shadowing helps your voice. When you speak while listening, your brain doesn't have time to translate. You start thinking in English automatically because your mouth and brain are busy working together like a team. Every time you shadow, you're training your mouth muscles, improving pronunciation, and building the real feeling of English. It's like learning to dance. The first few steps may feel strange, but soon your body remembers the rhythm. How to do shadowing step by step. Let's go through it together. Simple steps you can start today. Step 1. Choose short audio or video. Pick a short clip, maybe 1 or 2 minutes long. It could be a podcast, a movie scene, or a short English video. Make sure it's something you like. Step 2, listen first. Play it once or twice and just listen. Focus on the rhythm, tone, and pronunciation. Step 3, repeat with the speaker. Now play it again, but this time speak together with the speaker. Try to copy their voice, speed, and intonation as closely as possible. Step 4, practice small parts. If it's too fast, pause after each sentence and repeat. You don't have to be perfect. The goal is to get comfortable with English sounds. Step 5, do it every day. Even 5 to 10 minutes of shadowing every day can bring massive improvement. Real example, Tom's story. Let me tell you about Tom, one of my students. Tom was shy. He always said, "I understand English, but I can't speak fast. My tongue feels heavy." I told him, try shadowing for 1 week. Don't worry about mistakes, just follow the sound. He started watching short YouTube clips of motivational speeches. He would listen once, then shadow them word by word. And at first he stumbled, he missed words, he laughed at himself, but he kept going. After 3 days, his mouth started to move faster. After 7 days, he could say full sentences smoothly. After 1 month, his pronunciation was so clear that even native speakers said, "Wow, your English sounds natural." That's the power of shadowing. Feel the emotion. When you shadow, don't just copy the words, copy the feelings. If the speaker sounds happy, smile while speaking. If the speaker sounds surprised, raise your voice a little. If they speak softly, lower your tone too. Why? Because language is not only about words, It's about emotion and energy. When you speak with emotion, your English becomes alive. People won't just understand you, they'll feel your message. The mirror technique. Here's a fun way to practice shadowing at home. Stand in front of a mirror, play an English clip, and repeat with the speaker. Watch your mouth move. See how your lips, tongue, and face express the sounds. At first, it feels strange, but soon it becomes fun. You'll notice how your confidence grows every single day. When you see yourself speaking English fluently in the mirror, you start to believe that you can. And belief is where fluency truly begins. Rainbow. Make shadowing a routine. You can do shadowing anytime and anywhere while walking to work or school. During your morning routine before going to bed. Even 10 minutes of shadowing a day can make your English more natural than hours of grammar study. Remember, fluency is a habit, not a test. It's about what you do every day, not what you do once a month. Extra tip, combine listening plus shadowing. Want to improve even faster? Combine the first two habits, listen first to understand, shadow next to speak naturally. This combination helps you build both your listening and speaking skills together, just like a real conversation. When you listen, you receive English. When you shadow, you send English. And that's how communication happens, receiving and sending smoothly. Summary of tip 2. Let's quickly review. Shadowing means speaking together with a native speaker. It helps you improve pronunciation, rhythm, and fluency fast. Practice with short clips or audio daily. Focus on emotion, tone, and rhythm, not perfection. Combine it with listening for even faster results. So now, my friend, you've learned how to listen like a learner and speak like a native. But there's something even more powerful that comes next, a habit that will make your English automatic. Because when you stop translating and start thinking in English, fluency becomes your natural way of life. Get ready. Coming up in part 3. Think in English, how to train your mind for natural fluency. Part 3. Think in English, how to train your mind for natural fluency. Now that you're listening and shadowing daily, you're already doing great. But to truly sound fluent, you must take one more step. You must start to think in English. I know that sounds a little strange at first. You might say, how can I think in English when my mind always wants to use my own language first? But trust me, this is the secret that separates learners from fluent speakers. Let's unlock it together. Key. Why you should think in English. Think about how babies learn to speak. They don't translate. They don't say, what is the English word for milk? They just know what milk is. because they connect the word directly to the meaning, not to another language. When you start thinking in English, your brain stops wasting time translating every word. You begin to speak faster, understand faster, and feel more confident. When someone asks, "What's your name?" you don't pause, you just answer. That's because that phrase already lives inside your English brain. And the more you train your mind this way, the more phrases will flow naturally. Thinking in English is like turning on a light. Once it's bright, you see everything clearly. The problem with translating, let's be honest, we all translate sometimes. You hear a word in English and your brain quickly changes it into your language. That's okay in the beginning, but over time, it slows you down. Imagine you want to say, "I'm hungry," but your brain says, "What's hungry in my language? How do I say I am?" Put it together. By that time, the moment is gone. The goal is to stop this back and forth thinking. We want English to become your automatic voice. How to start thinking in English step by step. Here are simple, fun steps you can start using today to train your brain to think in English naturally. Step one, name things around you. This one is super simple but powerful. Look around right now. Everything you see has an English name. For example, this is a chair. That is my phone. I'm drinking water. Say these words out loud or in your head. When you do this often, your mind starts to build English thinking patterns. You stop needing translation because your eyes and mind connect directly to English words. Do it every day when you wake up, walk outside, or cook. Soon you'll start hearing English in your mind automatically. Step two, talk to yourself in English. Yes, talk to yourself. It's one of the most effective and fun ways to think in English. You can do this quietly in your head or softly when you're alone. For example, when you're getting ready, say, "Oh, okay, now I'm brushing my hair, I'm wearing my favorite shirt. I feel happy today." This small daily talk helps your brain stay in English mode. At first, it feels funny, but it works like magic. Step three, write simple English notes. Keep a small notebook or phone memo where you write short English thoughts. It doesn't have to be perfect grammar. Just write what you feel. Today is a good day. I'm a little tired. I want to drink coffee. When you write your feelings in English, your brain slowly learns to express emotions directly without using your native language. This is how you build emotional fluency, the ability to feel English, not just study it. Step four, imagine in English. Here's a fun trick. When you imagine something, your plans, your dreams, your weekend, imagine it in English. If you picture yourself traveling, imagine yourself saying, "Excuse me, where is the train station? Can I get a cup of coffee, please?" Your imagination is your private classroom school. No one will judge you there, so it's the perfect space to practice. The more you imagine in English, the more your brain accepts it as your natural language of thought. Step 5, replace translations with pictures. When you learn a new word, don't translate it. Instead, connect it directly to an image or feeling. For example, when you learn the word apple, don't think of the translation. Just picture a red apple in your mind. Apple. This is how native speakers think, through pictures, not through translation. It's faster, more natural, and much more fun. Real life example, Mina's English mind. Let me tell you about Mina. Mina was good at reading English, but speaking was difficult. Every time she wanted to speak, she had to translate in her head first, and it made her nervous. So she started practicing English thinking for just 10 minutes every morning. She looked at objects in her room and said their names out loud. She described what she was doing. I'm opening the window. I see the blue sky. I'm drinking coffee. After 2 weeks, she started catching herself automatically thinking in English. After 1 month, she could speak without long pauses. And after 3 months, her friend said, "You sound more natural now." She didn't learn thousands of new words. She just changed the language of her thoughts. The power of daily English thinking. When you train your brain to think in English, something amazing happens. You stop being afraid of making mistakes because your focus shifts from translating correctly to expressing naturally. You start using simple words, short sentences, and clear messages, and that's exactly what fluent speakers do. Even native speakers don't use complicated grammar all the time. They just speak clearly, confidently, and naturally. That's what you're learning to do too. Small practice challenge. Here's a mini challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, spend just 5 minutes thinking only in English. When you wake up, ask yourself in English, what will I do today? How do I feel right now? What should I eat for breakfast? It doesn't matter if it's simple. The key is to stay in English mode. Do this every morning for 1 week. And you'll be amazed how your mind starts to change. Summary of tip 3. Let's quickly recap this powerful third step. Stop translating, connect English directly to meaning. Name objects around you in English, talk to yourself, or write short notes in English daily. Imagine situations and conversations in English. Replace translations with pictures or emotions. When you think in English, you become free. You're no longer studying the language, you're living it. You start feeling confident, calm, and ready to speak anytime, anywhere. You're building not just English skills, you're building an English mindset. And now that your mind is ready, it's time to train your voice, because in the next step, we'll make your English sound stronger, clearer, and more natural than ever before. Coming up next in part 4, read aloud, how reading out loud makes you a confident speaker. Part 4, read aloud. Train your voice. Train your confidence. Now that you're listening, shadowing, and thinking in English, it's time to take the next big step, reading aloud. Reading silently is good for understanding, but reading aloud is where your English really comes to life. It's like turning your inner knowledge into action. When you read aloud, you train your mouth, tongue, and brain to work together, just like practicing an instrument or working out at the gym. And here's the secret: your voice is one of the fastest paths to confidence. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Why reading aloud works. Think of English as a muscle. Listening trains your ears, shadowing trains your rhythm. Thinking in English trains your brain. Reading aloud trains your voice. When you read aloud every day, your pronunciation improves, your fluency increases, your confidence grows, and here's the best part: mistakes don't matter. Every word you read aloud builds your speaking muscles. Every sentence you repeat makes English feel natural. Step one: choose the right material. Not all reading material is perfect for beginners. Start with short texts, a paragraph or two, simple stories, children's books, beginner English stories, dialogues from podcasts, videos, or English learning apps. The key is to understand a little, not everything. Focus on pronunciation and rhythm first. Comprehension comes naturally. Step two, read slowly and clearly. At first, read slowly and clearly. Pay attention to each word. Open your mouth properly. Move your tongue and lips naturally, and it may feel strange. Your tongue might feel heavy. Your mouth might feel tired. That's normal. Just like lifting weights for the first time, it feels awkward, but your muscles grow quickly. Step three, add expression. After you read slowly and clearly, read with expression. Smile when the sentence is happy. Raise your voice for excitement. Lower it for calm or serious sentences. Imagine you're an actor performing on stage. When you add expression, your English becomes alive. People can feel your words. This also helps you remember words and phrases faster because emotion sticks in your brain. Step four, repeat, repeat, repeat. Don't just read once, repeat it. First, slow and clear, then a little faster. Finally, with natural expression and rhythm. Even if the text is only one paragraph, repeating it 3 times is better than reading 10 paragraphs once. Your pronunciation will get smoother, your speed will increase, and your confidence will soar. Real life example: Leo's reading routine. Let me tell you about Leo, a beginner English learner. Leo loved English but hated speaking. He was afraid of mistakes. So he started reading aloud for just 10 minutes a day. He began with short dialogues from a beginner podcast. At first, he stumbled. He mispronounced words and laughed at himself, but he kept going every day. After 1 week, he felt more comfortable moving his mouth. After 2 weeks, his sentences sounded clearer. After 1 month, he could read and speak at the same time without stopping. And here's the magic: he started speaking naturally in conversations because reading aloud trained his brain and mouth to work together automatically. Step 5, make it a daily habit. The key to success is consistency. Start small, 5 to 10 minutes a day. Pick a routine: morning coffee, before lunch, or before bed. Keep a notebook of texts you enjoy reading. Even a few minutes every day builds strong speaking muscles. Remember, it's not about perfection, it's about practice, repetition, and confidence. Extra tip: combine read aloud with shadowing. Want to double your progress? Combine reading aloud with shadowing. Listen to a short audio, read the same text aloud, copying the rhythm and tone. This combination builds listening, speaking, pronunciation, and fluency simultaneously. It's like a full body workout, but for your English. Summary of tip 4: read aloud every day to train your voice and mouth. Start with short, simple texts. Read slowly, clearly, and with expression. Repeat until it feels natural. Combine with shadowing for maximum improvement. When you read aloud, you're not just practicing English, you're training your voice, your confidence, and your fluency. It's fun, it's effective, and it's one of the fastest ways to sound natural. Next, we'll take everything you've learned, listening, shadowing, thinking in English, and reading aloud, and apply it in your real life, because the final step is where real transformation happens: using English in your daily life naturally and confidently. Coming up next in part 5, use English in daily life, turn small actions into big fluency. Part 5, use English in daily life, turn small actions into big fluency. You've been learning to listen, shadow, think, and read aloud. Now it's time to take the final, most powerful step: living English every single day. Here's the truth: English fluency doesn't come from studying for hours once a week. It comes from daily habits, small actions, and consistent exposure. Even 5 minutes a day, if done strategically, can transform your speaking, listening, and confidence. Why using English in daily life works. Think about how you learned your first language. You didn't sit in a classroom for 3 hours a day. You didn't memorize grammar rules. You lived the language. You heard it, spoke it, and used it in real situations. Now it's your turn. By using English in your real life, your brain stops treating it like a school subject. It becomes part of who you are, not just what you study. It becomes natural, automatic, and effortless. Step 1, change your environment to English. Start with the easiest, most passive way to surround yourself with English: your devices. Change your phone language to English. Change your computer, social media, and apps to English. You probably look at your phone 50 to 100 times a day. Every time you open it, you'll see English words, settings, update, download, brightness. Your brain absorbs them naturally, no extra effort. This is called passive learning, and it's incredibly effective. Step 2, write a short English diary. Writing in English doesn't have to be long or complicated. Every night, write 3 simple sentences about your day. Example, I went to work. I was tired. I drank coffee. It rained today. I stayed home. I watched a video in English. This small habit builds sentence structure, vocabulary, and confidence. It's like giving your brain a mini English workout before bed. Pro tip, you can also write to a friend who is learning English. You practice writing and reading in a fun, social way. Step 3, record a 1-minute voice message. This is one of my favorite tips. At the end of your day, record yourself speaking in English for just 1 minute. Talk about your day, share your feelings, explain something you learned. Don't worry about mistakes. No one else has to hear it. This is for you only. When you listen back, you'll notice your pronunciation, your grammar, common mistakes, and you'll be able to improve little by little. This builds self-awareness, fluency, and confidence. Step 4, join online English communities. You don't need a classroom to speak English. You can find other learners online and practice every day. WhatsApp or Telegram groups, Facebook groups for English learners, apps like Tandem or Hello Talk. Start small, send a short text, record a voice note, ask a simple question. Even just reading messages from others is helpful. You'll see English as a living language, not a textbook. Step 5, watch short videos and repeat. Platforms like TikTok, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts are full of fun short English videos. Pick videos about topics you like: food, travel, daily life, or funny clips. Watch 2 to 3 times, then pause and repeat the sentences aloud. Copy the tone, rhythm, and speed. Even 20 seconds of daily practice makes a difference. It's fun, engaging, and highly practical. Extra tips: small actions equals big results. Using English daily doesn't have to be complicated. You can turn ordinary actions into practice. Say good morning in English instead of your native language. Write your to-do list in English. Watch 5 minutes of TV in English instead of your language. Think in English during short moments while waiting, cooking, or walking. Each small action builds habit strength, and strong habits create confident, fluent speakers. Real life example, Anna's daily English life. Anna was a beginner who could read English but rarely spoke. She felt nervous and thought fluency was impossible. Then she started tiny daily habits, changed her phone language to English, wrote 3 sentences every night, recorded 1-minute voice messages, watched short videos, and repeated aloud. At first, it felt awkward. After a week, her vocabulary was growing naturally. After a month, her confidence increased and she started speaking more. After 3 months, she was chatting with other learners online without fear. She didn't study 3 hours a day. She lived English in her daily life, and that made all the difference. Summary of tip 5: surround yourself with English, phone, apps, social media. Write a short diary every day. Record your voice for self feedback. Join online communities to practice with others. Watch short videos and repeat aloud. Remember, small actions done consistently lead to big fluency results. When you use English in your daily life, it becomes part of your identity, not just your study. It will feel natural, it will feel fun, and most importantly, it will make you confident to speak anywhere, anytime. Congratulations. By now, you've learned the 5 powerful steps to fluency. Listen every day, shadowing, think in English, read aloud, use English in daily life. If you follow these steps consistently, your English will transform, not overnight, but steadily, naturally, and permanently. Fluency isn't about perfection. It's about practice, courage, and daily action. Start today, keep going, and watch yourself become the confident English speaker you've always wanted to be.